Hey, hi, all together. My name is Andy. I'm from There's a Light, and you're watching Metal on Loud.
Thank you very much for joining the podcast, man.
Thank you for inviting us, or me in that case.
It's our pleasure. How are things in your world?
Well, pretty nice, I would say, in spite of all the pandemic stuff. We are close to our release date for our new album. We're really excited. And yeah, we got so many new things out in the world. It's like 2 singles, videos, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's really nice.
It's nice to see a little bit of activity again after all this time sitting on our asses.
That's true, yeah. I mean, I don't know how things are going in the Netherlands, but we are close to lockdown again, so I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, same thing here. It's we're already in a soft lockdown, and I don't think we're at the end of it yet. There's not yet a light.
That's a shame. But let's hope for the best. I don't know.
Well, you did at least do something productive with your lockdown time. Tell us about the recording of this album.
Yeah, that's true. The most part of the new album was recorded during the lockdown, or at least at the beginning. Oh, I'm sorry about that. The beginning of the last year, and starting in January, February, March, and April this year. So we were pretty productive. We never had the situation that we were recording simultaneously. So that was new, and it was really intense, let's say it like that, because we recorded guitars, bass, and vocals simultaneously. We were working in teams as two because we tried to avoid,
the COVID
stuff and all that. So yeah, it's interesting, but yeah, recording was really intense. But the songwriting was really nice because we went to France for it, and that we could do that before. It was also 2020, and so yeah, it was. Let's say it was an interesting journey.
I think the whole COVID situation is hard on any kind of bands, but especially with your kind of music, you need that connection, right?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we never had that situation. We usually, or at least our last album, the last songs we wrote and recorded, we did together in a studio, or at least usually at our guitar player's home studio, and we're always sitting together in one room and trying to check out what the others do, and that was a new situation for us. So yeah,
I have to say I was surprised when I heard the music for the first time. I accepted the interview because I know the label, I know the people there, and when they say something is good, I listen, and I was blown away by how mellow it is.
Okay. Well,
usually that's not my jam at all, but I loved it.
Thank you. Well, thanks for that. At least that thing. Yeah, I think a lot of Napalm listeners are a little bit, I don't know, let's hope confused in a good way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, of course, it's post-rock. We're a little bit special on Napalm, I would say.
Yeah, you could say that. It's a nice surprise. I also did some digging into your past, and I see many prog rock sites call you one of the best kept secrets out there. You're under the radar, to say the least.
Okay. Well, let's hope we get out of it. But we were quite. I don't know. I would say that's because we just love what we do. We were never on the. We were never working for any attention. We did what we love. We were playing our music. We were writing our songs, and at least we put it out there on the internet, and things happened. And something built up, and we were like, we're looking backwards and say, okay, what the hell happened? It's fun because we talked to a lot of, or not a lot, but some really close musicians, an old friend of mine who also plays in bands. He was like, man, now you're on Napalm. I was trying to get on Napalm when I was 20. They didn't even write back. They ignored us. And we were like, yeah, we never applied. Napalm asked us. So it was crazy. Like, but yeah. So I think that's kind of our attitude. Let's see what happens. If people like it, we love it. It's perfect. But we're not here and shove it in the faces of the audience.
Well, what I really like about your music, and especially this album, is how it sounds like a whole unit. It's like little pieces of storytelling with very little words.
Thanks. That's a nice compliment, really. We try to put it together. Not only by a concept, because like hope is the overall concept we try to put in. There was a really deep dig in towards the topic, but then again, we also listened to the songs and tried to connect them together to get kind of a red line kind of, which takes through until the end. The grand finale, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, that's a nice compliment. So thanks for that.
You already mentioned the red line on this album is hope, the central concept. What does that mean for you specifically?
For me, a lot. I wrote the lyrics, or at least, after talking to the band, having a lot of conversation about hope and what it means for us, what it means, whatever. It's a big topic, but especially for me, I love philosophy. All of the centuries from the old Greeks till nowadays. So I did a lot of reading and was fascinated by a lot of concepts. The album title is leaned towards the idea of Immanuel Kant, who says that hope is a collective thing. Because you're a human, we are social beings. You can't just hope for yourself. This is extremely positive. Of course, also a little bit idealistic. But that's hope, I guess. If you dig into it, we also try to point out the negative things of hope. It's not just a romanticized, idealistic view we have. We are quite aware that hope can also be really destructive, and we try to put that in our songs, a little bit of this feeling, and also with the title. So yeah, that's what
I think that's a very interesting thought, because there's a big destructive side to hope as well, as you mentioned, where it borders on expectation.
Yeah,
you just think that things are going to happen, and they'll happen anyway if you just hope for them. Yeah.
So yeah. I was also fascinated by some Seneca is the one who's he rejects hope because he says it's a false lead. You have to be by yourself. You have to be in the here and now. Live the here and now. Don't expect anything. You can't do that because you don't know what happens, and then you just stay there and you hope for something, and then you're just devastated. So he says, well, fear is also kind of a part of what he said, and I can understand that. If you hope for something, you also have to have fear because it's not clear if it happens. So that's also kind of a thing I really liked about the ideas of Seneca. So I'm torn in between.
It's a funny thing because when I was preparing for this interview, listening to the album, before I read any lyrics, before I read any press release, the whole hope and change subject spoke to me already from the album.
Really?
Yeah, to the point that I even wrote a poem about it.
Okay.
So it's inspirational music, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
I would say that's the biggest compliment we've ever had. If you got inspired by us, man, that's what else can I say? Thanks for that.
If you want to hear it, I have it open here.
Of course.
It's before I read any lyrics, by the way. So it's Strong its currents, smooth its surface, peaceful sounds the song of time, soothing us to ease the change its melody awakens. Rockabye humanity, go to sleep, subliminal lullaby.
Okay. Wow.
And
That's
that
a,
was just within the first 3 or 4 songs, I think, that it's popped up.
wow.
Which brings the question, are you a poetic person, given that your music inspires poetry?
Yeah, I can only speak for myself. I am. I truly am. I love poetry, and I write poems for myself. Mostly, yeah, just to express my feelings and get rid of them or just understand them. I don't know. Both are. It's kind of a catharsis. You know, it's like you put that out, and yeah, it's like a therapy for me. And I also really, I'm fascinated by by deep poetry, because you can express things in a way that connects different levels. I would say that's what I've found very fascinating about poetry. Yeah. I don't listen to hip hop, to tell you the truth. But today, Spotify just popped up a German hip hop act. He's called Koma. I listened to it, and he also had that deeper sense of poetry, and I was really fascinated. So yeah, I would say I'm into it. If it's good, I don't care if it's hip hop or not. If the thoughts are deep, it's amazing.
It's little snapshots of time and state of mind, I think.
Yeah,
little snapshots of self.
That's true.
And like music, it's a little time capsule.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
When you have an idea like that, how do you translate that to your music? Given that you don't use that many words.
That's true. I would say, first of all, lyrics and vocals for us are just one element of our music. Mm-hmm. So we just focus on the feeling. If it works without lyrics, it's fine for us. If we can connect with the song without vocals, that's okay. Mostly, I try to feel it. I try to understand the song emotionally, and then I try to express my feelings. And what is the first thing I think about? What's the first emotion that comes to my mind, or what I feel? I try to express it, and then I try to write the lyrics, which is not so easy sometimes, but yeah, that's kind of how it works. And sometimes also, I mean, of course, my bandmates also try to tell me as a band, speak about it. And if someone says, hey, I think lyrics would fit in this part, let's try to put some in there, let's try it. And then we just work on it. If it doesn't work, we also just declined 1 or 2 songs with lyrics and said, no, let's just leave it instrumental. But if it works, it's just connecting, and then we try it, yeah.
How do you usually build a song like that? How does it get born? What comes first?
It's a good question. Especially for this album, we had different approaches, to be honest. The first one was, I think, Jan and Markus. We went to China in 2018, which was an adventure, but when we came back, we were really inspired, and especially Jan and Markus got together and Jan is our drummer, Markus is one of our guitar players, and they just expressed their feelings and what they experienced on the tour. And 3 songs, I think, are born out of this. Others were fragments of ideas. We, like I said, we went to France on a cabin. We listened to a whole bunch of old ideas of everybody from us, and we picked out what we really liked, what everybody would say, like, I like that too, and we connected it, and then it evolved also. Mm-hmm. And other parts, yeah, we just jammed in the rehearsal room or on the cabin. We just went into the flow, had some good food, French wine and beer, and we just started. So it's a mixture of whatever comes to mind.
So a little isolation with some camaraderie and some good wine.
It's true.
Flows.
Yeah, sometimes yes, sometimes no, but yeah, it's. I think that's a matter of creativity. You can't force it. Sometimes it comes out of nowhere. Sometimes you just have to wait.
Do you still consider yourself a studio project, or have you evolved beyond that?
No, we definitely have evolved. I mean, the studio project was just for one weekend. The EP was recorded within 3 days, which is where a bunch of crazy and also a little bit unexperienced musicians who just tried to do something, and had fun. But now we had a lot of shows and we had a lot of gigs. We toured, and this is our second album, so we definitely, I don't know, at least a little bit ambitious, more ambitious than just studio.
I spent more time listening to the music than actually digging through the archives. So, you mentioned your China tour. That must have been quite a culture shock as well. Did that have any influence on your writing?
It was definitely. It was the biggest adventure we had so far. Let's hope we can do it again. But we still consider ourselves not too big. We made it on a quite big label, and we're really proud of this. We get more and more listeners, and people write us and like our music. It's amazing. It's really nice. We never, like I said, we never expect or never worked for that. It just came not out of nowhere, but at least we had so much. Yeah, we still consider ourselves small. Back then, in 2018, we didn't expect anything like that. When we were asked by a Chinese booker, "Hey guys, do you want to come to China?" We were like, "What? That's a fake. Can't be. What are you talking about?" I mean, and I still remember when I wrote, like, "Sounds nice, but do you know that we're just a small band from Germany? Are you just, is that the way you want to work, or do you think we're someone else or whatever?" So it's like it was really crazy. Yeah, it was a culture shock, but an amazing culture shock, I would say. I mean, we toured through. We had 10 shows. It was almost, I think, 7,000 kilometers by train within 2.5 weeks. We had full concert halls, which was absolutely crazy because we were only playing with. There was one band. In one show we played together, we shared the stage together. Every other show was just us, which was also kind of weird because we're not used to it. I don't know how it's in the Netherlands, but usually you have 2 or 3 bands who play.
Yeah, supporting acts.
Yeah, supporting acts, exactly. So we just had one supporting act in Chengdu. Yeah, we had gigs in Chinese towns with more than 10 million people we never heard of. So that was...
Yeah, that's an amazing trip, man.
Yeah.
What would you say is the biggest audience difference between your China tour and your later gigs?
I would say, post-rock in Asia is a different thing, and Chinese people are really open for those kind of acts. Generally, I would say it's like I wouldn't say Europeans are a little bit overfed by music. It's okay because I know how I act as an audience when I go to shows. I mean, I just try to have a good time, try to talk to my friends, have a couple of beers, and that's what you do, of course. But when we went to China, people were just listening when we played. I mean, during the pauses between the songs, they started to chat, but in between, in the songs, it was silent. That was crazy. They were just staring at us, and we were like, "Okay, come on, you can wake up now." Just like, but they did. They also cheered. But it's. they are more focused, I would say, and that changes levels because you can connect with the audience. So I would say that's the difference.
Yeah. Well, connection with your audience is, I think, something that's more important if you have less words, since you have less crowd interaction moments.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, we try to build an atmosphere. It's kind of post-rock lives by emotions and by the build-ups, and if people start chatting within the song, it's a little bit destructive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think I only once saw a band that was mostly without lyrics. That was all without lyrics, by the way. It was a Belgian band, I think. I think it was a Belgian band called Kong, and they forced audience interaction by playing on 3 or 4 sides of the hall.
Okay.
So you were in between the bands. Yeah.
That's another different approach. Okay, yeah. But it sounds.
How do you get your audience interaction?
Mostly by trying to put out bad jokes. I don't know. No, that's a hard question. We just try to play our music, enjoy ourselves a little bit, and hope that they like it. That's our way, I guess.
I think that's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like it, if you don't like post-rock, what can we say? It's like, stay here, listen to us, or it's like, don't go away. I don't know. No, but it's like, I think, yeah, no, just try our best. Yeah. And if they don't like it, okay.
Looking at the coming months and the start of next year, what's your schedule like? What's your life going to be like?
It's we're trying to put up shows. We're close. So far, we have one festival in northern Germany. We have a gig close to our hometown so far, because we have a release concert in 1 week after the album comes out. So far, because you can't tell, it's not so nice to not knowing. But we also try to get shows all around Europe so far. We're trying to connect with bookers, and that's what we work on lately. It's not so easy because a lot of bands rescheduled their shows, and I mean, I guess like they are all in the pipeline and waiting, trying to get out with their new stuff and playing again. But yeah, we're open. If someone hears that and in the Netherlands and is interested in our show or to come there, drop us a message every time you want.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it'll be worth their time, because this new album, I mentioned it before, I think it's really amazing. Yeah.
Thanks. That's nice to hear every time. Yeah.
Do you have any last words for our viewers, your fans out there and potential fans?
That's also one of the hardest questions you have to answer. I have to tell you. I don't know.
That's my job.
Yeah, let's hope we see each other. Let's hope we come to the Netherlands one time and have a show, have a good evening, a couple of beers. That would be my message. I would really look forward to that, and I guess the rest of the band as well.
I think those are the only words that really count right now.
That's true, yeah. Especially for music lovers. I hope the soft lockdown goes well, and you guys can get out there again and enjoy some music.
Same to you. Thank you very much for talking to us, and we see each other out on the road. Metal on Loud.
Let's hope so. Have a good time, man.